Hey, it's Brandy here from Grace Before Me Farm. I wanted to pop in here really quick, just say a couple things, I guess. I've been working on a little story that I've been wanting to share, and for some reason I've just kind of not sure if I should share or not share. And I woke up yesterday with a feeling of like being defeated. Just had this feeling of being defeated. And then I thought, if I'm feeling this way, possibly somebody else is feeling that way today, watching this, listening. And even though I have some things going in my life, I had to evaluate, why do I feel that way, right? Why did I wake up and have this defeated feeling? So with that, I evaluated my life and thought about those things of really what's important and what matters. And in that, and then I prayed over that, I just was reminded that Jesus is always with me. I talk to him throughout the day. And I thought, this little story is a story of hope. It's a story of perseverance. It's a story of not giving up, not giving in, and just pushing forward. So I just wanted to say thank you again for coming. I hope it is positive and speaks to you in your life. And again, I just always thank you for being here and just popping into this channel. And I hope to share goodness and positivity and joy of the Lord for each and every one of you. And if you're not a believer, that's okay. Believing for goodness for you always in everybody's life. So please enjoy this little story about a horse named Roy. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. This is going to be something really quick. I just kind of wanted to maybe share some inspiration. This particular story has been placed on my heart for a little bit, and I've been wanting to share it with you in the hopes that it could just help you. Sorry if you can hear the tractor in the back. My husband's grooming our arena. But I want to tell you a particular story about a horse named Roy. And I'll show you a picture of him. Now, Roy was a really great horse. We were able to purchase him from my father-in-law. Been 15 years ago, possibly. And he was up and coming, one of my husband's favorites, and did really great as a team roping horse, as a gelding. And one day, when my husband was getting ready to practice on him here in our arena, and he and I were out talking because we tie our horses up by the hot walker when he's getting ready to rope and those things. If you don't know what a hot walker is like a carousel type of equipment that you would tie your horse to, and it will electronically move around in a circle and kind of get them moving, get them walking, warm them up, exercise them. So you can look it up. It's called a hot walker for horses. While we were out there, and I was talking to him while he was getting ready and everything, and he took Roy, in particular, off the hot walker and started to lead him away. When he did so, he was leading him away on his front hoof. I said, wait a minute. And I saw something sticking out from under his hoof. And it was a nail. And we are very cautious around our animals, and we have this little magnetic thing that, you take around the buildings and things like that. But where we live, this place has been here over 100 years. And a lot of times when it rains, there's a lot of things that come up out of the ground. I get shards of plates, glass, kinds of things. I had coal come up. But at that time, when he went to lead him away, and he had that nail that was stuck under his. And so my husband took him right away and pulled it out and said, oh my gosh, and we took him to the vet. While he was being examined at the vet, because of course, it was pretty long nail. And we were told that the best thing for that horse was for us to take him to UC Davis and have an MRI. He needed to have an MRI just to see, if there was damage, how far it went in, those kinds of things. So we took him up to UC Davis, and we dropped him off, and then we drove all the way home. And while they were supposed to call with the results when they were able to finish and complete the scan and let us know if there was anything there, not there, what those results would be. So I think it was a couple days he was there, and I remember this because I was out in the garden, and I was working in the back, and it was probably, 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and my husband came over and we were talking, and all of a sudden his phone rang. So he stepped away because he said it was UC Davis, and he stepped away and took the phone call. And when he came back, he just had this just an anguish on his face. And he said that they told him that the nail had penetrated into some ligament or something in the bottom of his hoof, and that of course he couldn't use him as a rope horse anymore, which is nothing, and doesn't matter basically if you can ride him as a rope horse or not. And they said that if he was to run out in the field anymore, there was a possibility that there was a little tear it kind of went in a certain way, there was a little tear. And that if he overextended, or if he ran, or even just walking out in the field, that there was a potential for that whole part in his hoof to tear, and that he would be just out there dangling with his foot out there. Nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants. We don't want the horse to suffer. He was an amazing horse. One of my husband's favorites. And they wanted, at that time, my husband said he would call them back. And they wanted at that time, their suggestions or recommendation was to put the horse down. At any minute, that thing could appear, and he would be out there just dangling, and there was no hope for this horse. So he said, I need to call them back, and I need to let them know what we're deciding. And at that time, I'm looking at my husband, and and that look on his face, and I just said, not today. Call them back, and we will leave right now, and we're gonna go pick him up. And so we did. Sorry about that, I had to move. My little girl came out for a few minutes and she wanted her swing back. So back to Roy and our story. We did leave, it was late, and drove all the way over to see Davis and picked him up, brought him home. And we did what we could and just monitored him and made sure he wasn't running around and things like that. And a little bit of time, he seemed to be doing okay. And that time, we have a friend who, she worked with our vet, and she's a family friend, and she used to put on a handicap camp for children who were handicapped. It was like a horse camp. And so we had asked her, she knew Roy's story and what had happened to him, and we said he kind of needs a job, right? He needs to be able to walk around and have some interaction. And so we asked her if she'd like to take him for her camp, and whenever, just to try him out and see if he could do it. And whenever he couldn't do it anymore, or didn't work out, or anything was happened, then he'd need to come home. So, he went, and he actually became one of the favorite horses that the children love to ride. Love to love on, ride, enjoy. We've got a storm coming through. I might have to cut this short. But I just wanted to share with you, if you've been dealing with things, at least for me, the last 2-3 years have been a little difficult. Just know that there's hope. There's hope. He became a really good friend to Clydesdale horse that she had. Let me see here. I might have to go in. We had a hailstorm here not too long ago, and it kind of passed through and the sun came back out with the blue sky, and now we have some really, really crazy wind. Just want to share with you really quick. And then I'm going to cut this off because we got to run into the house. Keep your hope. Keep your faith. And this story reminded me, his story, I was reminded of basically to share. And one day I was watching a kind of reaction video to the first show of The Chosen season 3. Excuse me, and I just sometimes like to see how God's working in people's lives and what they think of it, and what their testimonies are. And I was watching this young girl, because I do think that there is a revival coming with young people. I see it, and in different places that I see it. It's wonderful. Anyhow, I was watching her reaction video, and she said something that was very profound to me. Very profound, and it reminded me of Roy's story. And such that when my husband was telling me that they wanted us to call them back and give them okay to put that horse down. And I just had something that came over me. And I said, not today. Not today. And this has been about 10-15 years ago. And that horse has given children joy. Had a job. He's come back home. And the profound word that the young girl or young woman had said in her video was, when Jesus, God in Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. So I'm going to show you a video that I took of him a little bit ago. I just wanted to share with you that that horse is alive today. He is living his best life back here at home, where he just gets to be a horse out in the field, enjoying playing with the other horses, messing around, and his beauty. And he will be here. And how quickly that could have, all this time and joy that he has brought others could have been taken away. So whatever you're facing, have discernment. Something medical you're facing, get a second opinion if you're not sure. There's nothing wrong with that. Be thankful each and every day of the little things you might have in your life. I do, I'm reminded every day. And if you don't know Jesus. You have nothing to lose to look for him. Ask him into your life and watch God show up. I'm believing for that for you today, just as I do for me and my family every day. My life isn't roses, but I have joy. Even in the darkest time, I can find joy. So please enjoy this little video of Roy, a horse named Roy. And anytime you are doubtful, feel worried, depressed, in a dark place, maybe replay this video and look for that joy. It always comes in the morning. And just remember, when God and Jesus says yes, everybody and nothing